Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to the fall sports informational meeting. Coming, air quotes. I thought this would be a lot easier than bringing everybody into the gym on a random Tuesday or Wednesday night at 7 p.m. when everybody has a bunch of stuff to do as it is. So I just thought this would be a lot more safer one, and also a lot more time convenient for you guys as well as myself and my assistant. But just to introduce myself, my name is Kyle Sasala. I know I've been here for about 2 years now. This is going on my third year, 2 years as assistant and 1 year now, or 2 months now as the athletic director. I'm super excited to come back in a different role and continue to work with all these awesome coaches, student athletes, and parents and community. Um, but this is just some contact information for myself. That's my email, my number, my extension, which many of you guys already have. And this is below is Alex Rice. He is our new assistant athletic director, as well as his contact information. But he comes from Kings Mills or Kings High School, and before that was at Sycamore. So he's been around town as an assistant athletic director. So a lot of awesome changes in the athletic office, but some very interesting changes and awesome changes and exciting changes coming forward next year. And as many of you guys know, Amy Anders is our athletic trainer. For those incoming freshmen that don't know, she is awesome. She's been here for 20 some years, knows probably more than I do, as well as Alex. So if you have any questions and we can't answer, always ask Amy. I just want to talk a little bit about the Bishop Fenwick's athletics purpose. Again, our motto is we want to use education-based athletics as a platform to transform student lives. Transforming student lives is the mission of Bishop Fenwick High School, and we want to use education-based athletics, again, as a platform to transform student lives. One of the things that Mike has preached before he left was transformational coaching, and again, I want to continue with the transformational coaching. Again, just making this a great learning experience for the student athletes, and making sure that they know that the field, the court, is an extension of the classroom, and they're here to learn and to grow as young men and young women. And I always preach too that I want our coaches, to have an impact on the student athletes, not just in their 4 years that they were here, but also the years beyond that. I love the coaches that can have their 4 years here with the student athletes, and then the student athletes go off to college and do their thing, and they come back and they felt like they haven't left. Again, it's about creating relationships and having an impact on the student athletes. Another great point that I like to talk about for our coaches is development too. They're here to learn. Again, I go back to the education-based athletics. They're learning things on the court that they're not necessarily learning in the classroom. So again, we're here to develop the kids and see how they grow as a little itty bitty freshman, all the way up until a big senior. And also the biggest thing too is the very last bullet point is I tell our coaches and our student athletes, I want them to have a positive, fun experience. I think a lot of times and nowadays the fun gets kind of sucked out of playing in different sports. So I don't want the student athletes to dread going to practice, dread going to different games. I want them to have a positive and fun experience, because at the end of the day, it's the reason why the kids do it is to have fun. And that's what I'm all about. Here's a little bit of a head coach directory, head coaches. If you have any questions about any of your sports, any questions for coaches, I know most of you guys probably already have this information, but it's just, again, a good resource to have if you have any quick questions. I want to talk a little bit about the OHSAA, the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Bishop Fenwick High School is a proud member of the OHSAA. Many of you know this. Those incoming freshmen, I'm sure you participated with your middle school teams, and they were also part of the OHSAA. But click on that OHSAA preseason information link. It's a great link for parents and just different information about the season and what the OHSAA does. if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out. On to sportsmanship. Just like we talk to the student athletes and the coaches about sportsmanship, I want to talk to you guys about sportsmanship as well. I want to make sure that sportsmanship is a big priority around here. I know in the past we've had some difficulties with sportsmanship. Take a look at this Parents Fair Play Code link from the OHSAA. It's a great resource to have, as well as the OHSAA Respect the Game resource. These are just two great resources to have for sportsmanship. Again, I want it to be a learning experience and a great and fun experience for the student athletes, and that involves you guys as well in the stands. So I want to make sure that everyone is on the same page with sportsmanship and making sure that we're enjoying ourselves, but always respecting the game as the OHSAA says, and making sure that there's no profanity, no yelling and screaming at players individually, at officials. I just want this to be a great and fun experience and great atmosphere for the student athletes and everybody attending the game. So again, just take a look at those links. Those are great links to take a look at and just refresh your sportsmanship ideas and different items. Again, this third bullet, it's a great funny YouTube video of a funny fan sitting in a basketball stands and just making jokes. Again, this is just a funny video. It's not to demean anybody or target anybody. Again, it's intended to be funny, but it's also just a great learning experience of basically of how some coaches, not coaches, but how some spectators do act. Again, it's funny, but it's also a great learning experience, and sometimes just seeing the funny out of it is it's honestly just funny. So take a look at that video and let me know your thoughts. Here we go into the nuts and bolts. Many of you guys know Final Forms. Final Forms is is where we put all of our physicals, all of our forms, all of our coaches' information. It's a jack of all trades. If you have not signed up for Final Forms yet, you need to get on there ASAP. Every student athlete is required to have a Final Forms account. If you haven't signed one up yet, get one now. Every student needs to be green. What I mean by green is every single parent form, student form, and physical status need to be green. I do not like to see red. Red is bad. Student athletes, you guys can now upload your physicals, which is awesome. Just hit that upload button. It looks like a little folder. Hit the upload button. It makes my life a lot easier. It makes your life a lot easier. Again, and all forms need to be signed throughout the whole year. Again, this is just for liability issues and just to give you guys some more information on what we're doing here at Fenwick. And then moving on to some of the eligibility stuff. You must be at school before 10 a.m. to be eligible to participate, both in games and practices that day. This rule it's always been a rule. Maybe it just hasn't been communicated enough. But again, this is a rule that's always been around. If you have any excused absences, as a doctor's excuse, funeral, this or that, or college visit, please make sure that those are ran through the front office, either Mrs. Woodward or Mr. Umberg, and they can take care of you. Again, moving on to some more eligibility. This might be common sense, but again, I just want to touch base on it and make sure you guys are aware of it. But you must be enrolled in passing 5 1-credit classes. Again, phys ed does not count as a full credit; it only counts as a half a credit. So that just take that into consideration when you're working with your counselors. You must have this is a Fenwick rule that we've always had for the longest time. Is you must have a 2.0 GPA or higher. The above bullet point for the 5-1 credit classes is the OHSAA's rule. So the 2.0 GPA is for Fenwick. You must maintain a 2.0 GPA. And if a student athlete does not meet that 2.0 GPA, what we'll have them do is we will have grade checks every 2 weeks, either with Mr. Umberg or the counselors, and if they are above those if they are above that 2.0 GPA, then they are good for the rest of the season. But I would just hone in on telling your student, telling your son or daughter just to keep your grades up, again, because you are a student athlete first, not an athlete. So if you have any questions about the grade checks, again, with COVID, it may or may not change with the study tables that I know in the past we have done study tables, but that could change in the near future. Our athletic fees. Again, all athletic fees this year will be $300 regardless of participation in prior sport. I know in the past we've done discounts for other sports, but again, this is something that we're changing this year and making it $300 across the whole board for every single sport. Again, a fee will be charged for any lost or damaged uniforms and equipment. That fee will be determined by the athletic office and as well as Mrs. Steer in the finance office finance office. Again, for those new families who have not, the new freshman families, we do use a system called fax. That is where we bill all of bill everything. Everything is billed through fax. Again, I don't want checks. I don't want cash. I don't want Venmo. I don't want this. Everything should be billed through fax and charged to fax. Fall participation for you guys, we'll have an October payment, and then just some more information if you will be playing, or if your son or daughter will be playing in a winter or spring sport. Winter will have a January payment. Spring will have an April payment. If you have any questions about fees, please direct those to Brenda Steer. She's our director of finance, director of everything. Jack of all trades, does a lot of awesome things, and she'll work with you to get everything arranged. So if you have any questions, reach out to her. Moving on to our athletic website and social media. If you haven't seen it, our athletic website, it's fenwicksports.org. All information is on there. Coaches directories, my information, purpose statements, this, that, everything you need to know is on the fenwicksports.org website. It's a great resource to have. If you have any questions, feel free to check out that website first before you send me any emails or coaches any emails. You'll be surprised how much information is on there. One of the other things is we use Twitter. That is our Twitter handle at Fenwick Sports. We are very active on Twitter with game day stuff, informational meetings, student acknowledgments, coach acknowledgments, coaching updates, this, that. Please go follow us on Twitter. We do a lot of awesome things, as well as following all of your sports specific Twitter accounts. Check with your coaches, or check with your coaches for the Twitter accounts for that. Again, they post a lot of awesome things, game day graphics, this, that. It's just a great resource as well, because we do communicate through Twitter as well. One more thing that we do have here with Fenwick is our Bishop Fenwick Athletics app. That is this app to the left right here, this red app with the Falcon. Please search that through the iOS or your Apple or Android Apple Store, or whatever you want to call it. It's a great, again, another great resource to have. It has rosters, it has schedules, it has Twitter on there. A lot of awesome things you can use and utilize on that platform. So please go ahead and download that. Moving on to ticketing. So this year, again, for those families that haven't done it in the past, but we will be using hometown ticketing. Again, like I said, we used it in the last year, and I thought it worked very well. To access that, use that link below, but it's basically on the fenwicksports.org website to purchase all of our tickets. It's very easy to use. Super easy to use and very, very user friendly. Again, all students, different from last year, but the years prior, students received an athletic pass, good for 1 to all athletic events. That will resume again next year or this year. Again, this may or may not change due to COVID, but as of now, we will offer a free athletic pass to all students. Students can use that pass for, again, all athletic events, but to redeem that pass, they would simply have to go to the fenwicksports.org website under the fall sports season pass and just put in their student IDs that they were given. It's also on final forms, but make sure it's the student ID minus that first zero. For the families that have done this in the past, you'll know how to do it. But for the incoming freshmen, you should have received a unique ID. Make sure to use that unique ID minus that first zero to redeem your student athletic pass. And then just to give you a little breakdown of what we're doing this year, we are not doing annual season passes like we did in the past. We are doing football season tickets. This includes all football home games, and this will be $50 and plus fees. Again, this is valid for one entry, one ticket, or one person per ticket. Then we will also in the fall season offer a fall season pass, and this includes all the home games except for football, and that is $150 plus fees. And this is valid for 4 entries per pass. No tickets. Just want to make sure you guys are aware. No tickets will be sold at the gate, and they all must be pre-purchased. Just makes this heck of a lot easier, less cash to handle. It makes my life and the gate workers' lives a lot easier when you have your tickets already purchased, because we can easily scan these. Just a reminder that when you do purchase these season passes or football tickets, they are not good. They're not accepted for any OHSAA sanctioned games. OHSAA games are totally separate, and that is something that you would have to pay on top of. I wanted to give you a little update on the away tickets. With COVID, it's different for every single school. Even this year, it'll be different for every single school. So I'll just please be patient when it comes to away tickets. That information will be communicated to the families or the student athletes once it's received from the visiting schools. So just be patient with that, and that will be communicated either by myself or coaches. Some important dates or information. Picture day, as many of you should already know, it's going to be August 12th. If you don't know your schedule, please reach out to your coach. Every single season, actually, we have a senior signing day, and that day right now is to be announced. Once that information is sent out, or once that information is confirmed, it'll be sent out to you guys as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we are dealing with COVID still. It is what it is. We're going to have to live with it. The recommendations and guidelines, as people know, are changing by the hour, every day, every minute. So again, please just be patient with myself, Alex, Amy, and the school. We're doing our best job to keep you guys safe. Communication will be sent out for any updated guidelines and procedures. So just be on the lookout, via Twitter, the athletic website, your emails. Just be on the lookout for different information. And Amy and myself and Alex, we are currently working on guidelines that will be sent out hopefully in the next couple of days. If you have any questions for myself or Alex, again, here's our emails. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Alex and I are pretty responsive when it comes to emails. But again, looking forward to the season. Obviously not with COVID, but we'll work with it. It is what it is. I'm super excited, and I know Alex is super excited to get the season started. This is my first year as athletic director, so there are going to be some speed bumps. There are going to be some changes. This, that. So please just, again, like I've been saying, just be patient with me. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a fun year, and I'm looking forward to the year and continuing to work with the coaches, the student athletes, and also the alumni and the community. So again, if there's any questions you guys have, please don't hesitate to reach out.